Ever felt like a fraud? Suspected that your success was merely a product of luck or good timing, rather than your skills or qualifications? Welcome to the world of imposter syndrome, a psychological pattern where you constantly doubt your abilities despite clear evidence of your success. It's like a masquerade ball, where everyone is dancing with confidence, but you're convinced your mask will slip, revealing that you don't belong, that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. It's a paradox where the more you achieve, the more you feel like a fraud. But guess what? You're not alone in this masquerade. Imposter syndrome is more common than you might think, and it's not just you or me. It affects professionals, students, and people across various fields. You are not alone in these feelings. Today we delve into understanding and managing imposter syndrome. Let's unmask this intruder and reclaim our confidence. Surprisingly, imposter syndrome is more common than you think. A staggering 70% of people report experiencing these feelings at some point in their lives. It's not just limited to professionals either. Students and individuals across various fields grapple with it too. Certain demographic and psychological factors can increase susceptibility. For instance, being a first-generation professional or student, belonging to a minority group, or having high levels of perfectionism can make one more likely to experience imposter syndrome. The impact of imposter syndrome extends beyond just feelings of self-doubt. It can take a toll on our mental health, triggering anxiety, depression, and burnout. It can hinder career development, as people may avoid taking on new challenges for fear of failure. And it can stifle personal growth as individuals internalize negative beliefs about their abilities and worth. Imposter syndrome is not a rare phenomenon, and its impact is significant. What causes us to doubt our competence and fear exposure as frauds? This question leads us into the psychological roots of imposter syndrome. Psychologists attribute this perplexing condition to a cocktail of personality traits and early life experiences. One key ingredient in this mix is perfectionism. Many of us who grapple with imposter syndrome set impossibly high standards for ourselves. When we inevitably fall short, we interpret this as proof of our incompetence, fueling our imposter feelings. Neuroticism, or the tendency to experience negative emotions easily, is another personality trait linked to imposter syndrome. Those of us who are high in neuroticism are more likely to doubt our abilities and fear negative evaluation. We're more sensitive to criticism, real or imagined, and often interpret neutral situations as threatening. Our upbringing and early experiences also play a significant role. Family expectations, the praises and criticisms we received, and our early academic or career experiences all shape our self-perception. If we were constantly compared to a high-achieving sibling or were labeled as the smart one in our family, we may develop a fear of failure and a belief that our worth is tied to our achievements. But what does imposter syndrome look like in real life? How do we know if we're dealing with it? Firstly, we may have persistent feelings of self-doubt. Despite clear evidence of our competence, we may feel like we're just winging it and that we don't truly know what we're doing. Secondly, we may attribute our success to external factors like luck or timing, rather than our abilities or hard work. We may also have a crippling fear of failure, constantly feeling on edge, as if we're one mistake away from being exposed as a fraud. Imposter syndrome can also manifest as overworking. In an attempt to cover up our perceived inadequacies, we might work harder and longer than our peers, leading to burnout. Lastly, we may struggle with perfectionism, feeling like anything short of perfect is a failure. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards managing imposter syndrome. By understanding its roots and identifying its symptoms, we can begin to challenge and reframe the self-doubting narratives that fuel our imposter feelings. Now that we understand the problem, how do we tackle it? Well, there are several strategies that can help, and we're going to delve into those right now. First, we look at cognitive behavioral techniques. This is a fancy term for a simple idea: changing the way you think to change the way you feel. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," challenge that thought. Ask yourself, is this really true? More often than not, you'll find that it isn't. Instead, you're a capable individual who's made it this far because of your skills and hard work, not luck. Next, let's talk about building confidence. This isn't about waking up one day and deciding to be confident. It's about accumulating small successes. Each time you achieve something, no matter how small, it adds to your confidence bank. Over time, you'll find that you have a wealth of successes to draw from, which can help boost your self-esteem and counteract feelings of imposter syndrome. Then, there's the strategy of seeking constructive feedback. This can be scary, especially when you're already feeling like an imposter. But remember, feedback isn't a personal attack. It's an opportunity to grow and improve. When you receive feedback, try to interpret it accurately, not through the lens of self-doubt. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of conversation. Talk about your feelings of fraudulence with mentors, peers, or a therapist. You'll likely find that many people share these experiences. Discussing it can help to normalize these feelings and give you a fresh perspective. Each of these strategies is a piece of the puzzle in overcoming imposter syndrome. They're not quick fixes, but tools you can use to gradually change your mindset and build resilience. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone in this journey. While these strategies may not eliminate imposter syndrome overnight, they provide a foundation for managing it. And that's a step in the right direction. Can our workplaces or schools help mitigate these feelings of fraudulence? Indeed, they can. Environments can either feed into or help alleviate feelings of imposter syndrome. A lot hinges on the culture of an organization or an academic institution. First, let's talk about organizational culture. In workplaces where competition is fierce and mistakes are not tolerated, imposter feelings can run rampant. On the other hand, in environments where learning and growth are valued, where mistakes are seen as opportunities rather than failings, individuals may feel less like imposters. Employers can foster such environments by promoting a culture of collaboration, encouraging open communication, and ensuring that achievements are recognized and celebrated. Academic environments are no different. In schools and universities where perfection is the norm, students may feel like they're constantly under the microscope, waiting to be exposed as frauds. However, educators can help mitigate these feelings by promoting a growth mindset. This involves emphasizing the importance of effort over innate ability and recognizing that struggle and failure are inherent parts of the learning process. Now, how can employers and educators create supportive environments? It starts with understanding that imposter syndrome is real, that it affects a significant portion of people, and that it can have serious implications on mental health and performance. Once this understanding is in place, it's about fostering an environment of acceptance, an environment where it's okay to not know everything, where it's okay to ask for help, where it's okay to make mistakes. Employers and educators can also provide training and resources to help individuals deal with feelings of imposterism. This could be in the form of workshops or seminars on imposter syndrome, providing access to counseling services, or creating safe spaces where individuals can share their experiences and learn from others. In conclusion, the environments in which we work and learn play a significant role in either exacerbating or alleviating feelings of imposter syndrome. By fostering a supportive culture, we can help individuals feel more secure and less fraudulent. Overcoming imposter syndrome is not a quick fix, but a journey. Indeed, the path to managing these feelings of self-doubt and fraudulence is one of continual self-reflection and growth. It's about recognizing the patterns of thought that lead to imposter syndrome and actively challenging them. It's about giving ourselves permission to be imperfect, to ask for help, and to celebrate our achievements. In this journey, you are not alone. There are many resources out there to help you navigate the rough terrains of imposter syndrome. A plethora of books, articles, and even podcasts delve into this phenomenon, offering insights and strategies for overcoming it. Some notable ones include The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women by Valerie Young and The Empress Has No Clothes by Joyce Roach. Professional help, too, can be invaluable. Therapists and counselors trained in cognitive behavioral techniques can help you challenge and reframe negative thoughts. They provide a safe space to explore these feelings of imposter syndrome and develop effective coping strategies. Let's take a moment to recap what we've discussed. Imposter syndrome is a common psychological phenomenon where individuals doubt their accomplishments and fear being exposed as a fraud. It can stem from various factors, including personality traits, upbringing, and early experiences. It can manifest differently in different contexts, but there are common signs to look out for, such as attributing success to luck or downplaying one's achievements. Overcoming imposter syndrome involves challenging these negative beliefs and building confidence through small successes. It's about seeking feedback, talking about your feelings, and creating supportive environments in workplaces and educational settings. In the end, it's important to remember that everyone experiences moments of self-doubt. It's a part of being human. What matters is how we manage these feelings. It's about not letting them hold us back from reaching our full potential, from embracing our accomplishments and our worth. So, keep reflecting, keep growing, and remember, you are not an imposter. You are capable, you are deserving, and you belong. Remember, everyone has moments of self-doubt. It's how we manage these feelings that matters. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Reflect on what we've discussed. Do you see yourself in the mirror of imposter syndrome? If you have stories to share, coping strategies that worked for you, or thoughts to express, we encourage you to leave them in the comments below. Your insights could be the beacon for someone else. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more content on mental health and personal development. Together, we can navigate this journey of self-discovery and growth.